So we're here at the conclusion of the Cycling Canada AGM, and we're here with the CEO, Mathieu, and it's been a very exciting weekend, Greg. Lots going on. We're just nearby. The Milton Velodrome was his opening, so for you, I guess it's got to be a pretty exciting time.
Very definitely. You know, we're talking to the provinces and territories about where we are now and where we hope to get to and plan to get to over the next few years, but we've also taken a bit of time to look at where we've come from. Especially in the last 5 years or so, we've obviously been able to get a good handle on our financial aspects. We're now bringing more sponsorship into the organization with Global Relay joining up with us. We're actually doing a lot more outreach with our smaller jurisdictions so that they have more support in terms of coaching development, officiating development, and developing their competition calendar. So those things are important because the development part of this is what's going to feed the high performance program. In that respect, high performance wise, we've had great performances over the past year, winning medals at 3 of the 4 World Championships in the Olympic disciplines. And of course 4 medals in paracycling, 2 on the track and 2 on the road. So in terms of our positioning for Rio for 2016 for the Olympics and Paralympics, we're feeling good, but we're really enthusiastic about 2015. You know, what an opportunity for us as a sport to showcase our top athletes and to showcase these wonderful legacy facilities we're going to have here in Milton, the Velodrome, the BMX facility in Centennial Park, and the tremendous upgraded Hardwood Hills, which is now probably a World Cup level course. So we've got some great things going.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots going on, and with Milton just around the corner, you've hired coaches. If you give me a perspective, you know, you started 5 years ago, and now you're into it for 5 years. What's your perspective over the term and going forward?
Well, I think what I've seen is that we were doing a lot of the right things, but we were only doing them to the scale that we could afford to with the capacity that we had. So we've generally doubled our capacity. You know, our budget has gone from 3.2 million up to about 6.6 over those 5 years with a steady climb. Thanks to our funding partners, primarily on the podium, Sport Canada, but also more money coming in various other areas as well. So that money has given us more capacity, and that capacity has allowed us to upscale the things that we were doing. It allows us to touch more people and to do more things for them. I mean, we could double our budget again and still not be able to do all the things that people would like us to do. But by the same token, it does give us a chance to prioritize and deliver on a lot of the areas that we weren't able to before. So I think probably the scale of what we're doing. I guess the second part of it is, you know, over the course of the 5 years, working with a very strong board that has a very good governance focus, I think we've been able to get better focused on our business. What is our core business? What are we trying to do? Making sure that we don't waste resources and time on things that aren't within our core business, within the funnel of our mandate. And I see us being stronger in that area as well. So although sometimes people would like us to do more things with them or for them, that's not our core business. We have to be pretty firm about it. We want to support and help and facilitate, but we're not putting our resources in those areas anymore. So putting our resources where our mission is and then following through on it has been the key part over the last 5 years.
Good to hear. Do you feel? I know that you know, Global Relay is a new sponsor of the association, and you know, you've got new marketing initiatives. Do you feel that the sport is better able to capitalize on those at this time?
I think we're getting closer to it. I certainly feel, coming from another Olympic sport, that if you don't have the performances that you've sort of positioned yourself for at the Olympic Games, you immediately take a bit of a hit, because the Olympic Games are where the lights are on and where everybody's watching, where the attention of the corporate community as well as the public is. And if I certainly feel that in London we missed an opportunity, that if a few medals got away, you know, 2 more medals and we would have been Canada's best performing sport. So, and if you can get to that status, then you get noticed by the corporate sector and the agencies that work for them. Sure. But when you have 4ths and 5ths, you know, the wooden medals as they call them, you're not quite there. So we missed an opportunity in London. We plan to be better in Rio and even better in Tokyo, and that's what the build-up is all about. A sustainable, systemic way of building our athletes through long-term athlete development, through having good technical leadership, and through having great coaches.
Well, it sounds like you're on that path. You've hired new coaches, and now with the Velodrome going in, and of course your surplus over the past 8 years is another brick in the wall for the success.
Yeah, certainly you're probably aware of the fact that government funding is never really confirmed for us until about the second quarter of the fiscal year. They do give us an advance payment against what they've funded us on the previous year, but we always have this funding gap. So the continuity reserve, as we call it, allows us to smooth out that funding area, whereas in previous years when I started here we had to go to the line of credit to get through the first 4 or 5 months of the year. Now we have our continuity reserve that we plug in there, and then of course we catch up by the end of the year getting all the money that we're entitled to from our funding partners, and so the story has been pretty good to make that continuity reserve there. And should we have a rainy day where something of emergency nature happens, the board is then able to have this fund that they can make a decision. You know, do we do this or do that? Do we try and keep pushing a program because we have the money to do it, or are we going to say no, we're going to abandon that because financially we can't afford it? So it is a bit of a safety net, but it's one that I think every not-for-profit organization needs to have.
Sure. Sounds like the organization is ready for the the push ahead. You got Milton around the corner. You got Pan Am next year. Are you feeling bullish about everything?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about things right now. I mean, obviously there are things that we'd like to do better, things that we'd like to see better results from. But we know that in a lot of these areas the build-up is slow. It's incremental, it's not geometric. So I think as long as we continue to see progress, we'll continue to feel pretty buoyed by it, and certainly feel that there are better days ahead for cycling.
Very good, Greg. Well, thanks for spending time with us, and we want to wish you all the best with the association and see Canada on the podium down the road.
Well, thanks for your support, Benjamin. We much appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
Called the cycling reform, to make sure that everyone will take their responsibility